Jaron Cole stands in the command room holding his helmet tight in his hand. The red alarm light flashes slowly above his head. The voice from the intercom speaks again. "We found them, sir." Jaron looks at the screen and sees the broken spaceship near. The Mars border zone, a silent ship, no movement, no signal, just quiet metal sitting under the orange sky. He walks to the armory and picks up his weapon. His team gets ready, but his commander stops him. "Go alone, Cole. This is a delicate situation, do not shoot unless necessary." Jaron nods and walks toward the small shuttle waiting in the launch bay. The engines start, and soon he is flying through the red dust storms of Mars. He lands near the crashed ship. There is no one outside, just sand, wind, and silence. He opens the scanner. One heat signature. No, wait, two very close inside the ship. Jaron steps in. His boots make a soft metal sound. The inside is dark, dust everywhere. And then he hears it, a small voice coughing. He moves forward slowly, weapon ready, eyes focused in the corner of the ship. He sees her, an alien woman. Blue skin, long silver hair, her arms around a small child. Protecting, hiding, shaking. Jaron raises his weapon. "Do not move, hands where I can see them." The woman does not move, but the child turns, big green eyes, small face. She looks at Jaron without fear. Then she speaks. "Please, don't take my mommy." Jaron freezes. His hands stop shaking. The weapon lowers just a little. "How do you know our language?" he asks, but inside he is confused. The voice was soft, clear, no accent, no delay. The child stands slowly. She walks closer, her small hands open. "I was born here," she says. "Earth is my home." Jaron blinks. He looks at the woman, then at the child. He puts the weapon down slowly. "What is your name?" he asks. The girl replies, "My name is Lyra, and this is my mother. Her name is Sarah." "Why are you here?" Jaron asks. "We were hiding," says the mother softly, her voice calm but tired. "We ran when they came for us. We did not mean to land here. We were looking for safety." Jaron looks around. He checks the ship. Everything is old, burned, worn out. "You are not invaders," he says slowly. "No," the woman says. "We are survivors." Jaron opens his communicator. He hears the voice of his commander. "Status report. Target located. Prepare for deportation." He does not answer. He looks at the little girl, still standing in front of him, her eyes not blinking. "Do you know what they will do to you?" he asks softly. The girl nods. She says nothing, but a tear rolls down her cheek. Jaron walks out of the ship. He breathes the Mars air, dusty cold. His mind spinning. Orders are clear. All aliens must be sent away. No questions, no emotions, but something feels wrong. He looks back at the ship, at the child, at the woman who still holds her. Like the world is ending. They are not soldiers. They are not spies. They are just a mother and daughter alone, afraid, left behind. Jaron whispers to himself, "This is not what I signed up for." His communicator speaks again. "Deport them." Now he turns it off. He walks back into the ship. He kneels beside the girl. "Do you want to stay?" he asks. She nods again. Her tiny hand reaches out, touches his glove. "Please," she says again. "Please don't take my mommy." And in that moment, Jaron makes a decision, one that could change everything. He picks up his communicator and crushes it in his hand. Asterisk. Jaron walks slowly across the steel corridor of the Mars base. His face is silent, but his mind is full of questions. He hears the sound of voices on the radio, orders repeating again and again. Alien found, immediate deportation. No delays, no exceptions. He enters the command room and salutes without speaking. His commander looks at him with sharp eyes. "You saw them, a mother and a child. You know the law." Jaron nods but does not answer. The commander continues with a cold voice. "Transport ship arrives in 6 hours. Prepare the alien female and her daughter for removal. Earth Central has given final clearance." Jaron says nothing. He turns and walks away. His boots hit the metal floor like drums, each step louder than the last. He reaches the security files room, scans his ID, enters alone. The room is dark and quiet. Screens glow with blue light. Jaron types the name he heard, Sarah. Then he types the word Project Eden. At first the system shows nothing. Then one locked file appears. Access denied. He tries another way. Security override, level 6 clearance granted. The screen flashes. File open. Jaren reads slowly. His heart starts to race. Sira, alien species, not enemy. Voluntary participant. In Project Eden. Subject, gifted in healing and empathy, assigned to Earth Science Unit. 17 reason for project, peace experiment. Hybrid child development. Goal, new bridge between species. After Solar War. Jaren scrolls further. He sees reports. Test logs. Birth record, Lyra born at Luna base. Mother alien, father human scientist. File ends with one sentence. Project shut down. All records erased. Subjects ordered to be removed. Status missing. Jaren leans back in his chair. He cannot breathe for a moment. They were not criminals. They were part of something bigger, something forgotten, something buried. He prints the file and hides it in his suit. Then he hears the voice of the commander from the hall. Cole, come now. Meeting in the war room. Jaren walks in and sees the faces of officers on the big screen. They speak fast and sharp. High alert. Prepare for resistance. Use force if needed. Jaren raises his hand. They are not dangerous. They are not soldiers. The child was born here. She speaks our language. She is more human than alien. The main officer glares at him. That does not matter. They are not registered. They are illegal. They must go. Jaren clenches his fists. He does not speak again. The meeting ends. The screen goes black. The room empties. Jaren stays. For a moment he looks at the stars outside the glass. He thinks of the child's eyes. The way she said please. The way her mother held her. He knows what he must do. He walks to the holding room. Guards nod and step aside. Inside he finds them sitting together, quiet still. Sira looks up. Did they decide? She asks. Jaren kneels, his voice low and soft. They want you gone. They do not care about your past. They do not care about truth. Lyra touches his hand. Are you going to take us? Jaren shakes his head. No, but we have to move now. He opens a back door, takes them into a narrow hallway. They run through old tunnels, rusty pipes and broken lights, far from cameras, far from orders. They reach a small hidden room. It was once a storage unit. Now it will be a shelter. Jaren gives them food and a warm blanket. You stay here, no sound, no light. I will come back soon. Before he leaves, Sira speaks. Why are you helping? Uzarine stands in the doorway. He looks at her face, so tired, so brave, because someone erased your story and I want to know the truth. He walks back to the main base, his eyes calm, his heart ready inside his pocket. The secret file waits as silent proof that they were never the enemy. They were the forgotten, and he will not forget again. The night on Mars feels heavier than usual. Inside the hidden room, Lyra sleeps in her mother's arms. Sira watches the door with tired eyes. Every small sound in the pipes above makes her heart race. Every shadow feels like a soldier's foot. Jaren returns with a small bag. He places it near them without speaking. Water, food, new clothes, a signal blocker, and a fake ID card. Sira looks at him. Her voice is almost a whisper. How long can we hide like this? Jaren answers without emotion. Not long, but I found something. There is one place still off the grid. An old outpost from the mining era, abandoned, forgotten, not in any records. I can take you there. Sira stands slowly, her movements careful. She holds Lyra close. Her voice shakes. Why are you doing this? You barely know. Jaren looks at the little girl. He remembers her words. He remembers the fear in her voice. Please don't take my mommy, he replies without looking at Sira, because someone needs to remember what mercy means, and I do not want to become the kind of man who forgets. They move at night through the lower tunnels, past rusted doors and cold pipes. Lyra holds Jaren's hand. She does not cry. She does not ask questions. After 2 hours, they reach a door sealed with old chains. Jaren breaks the lock. The room is dusty and full of broken crates. It smells like oil and metal, but it is safe. They stay inside. Jaren connects an old data chip to his wristband. The screen shows a blinking file, Project Eden. He opens it. More reports, more lies. Test log showing Lyra's early growth. She could sense people's feelings from far away. She could calm them. She could feel pain, not her own. Sira sits beside him. She speaks softly. They wanted her to become a weapon of peace, but when the War ended. They called her a mystic. Jaren clenches his jaw. He cannot understand how people call peace a threat outside the base. A drone flies low. Its scanner beeps once then again. Target trace detected. It sends a signal back to command inside. The room. Lyra looks up. Something is coming. She says. Jaren grabs his weapon. He checks the scanner, red light blinking. They found. Yuj opens the back wall. Behind it is a hidden tunnel, only used for emergency evacuation. They run through it, no light. Only echoes behind them. The drone enters the old outpost. It scans the room, empty, but not for long. Jaren and the others reach a cave, opens to the Martian surface far from the base. They catch their breath. Sira looks at the stars above. Once we trusted humans, now we are hunted by them. Jaren does not answer. He opens his wristband again. He sends a signal to an old contact, a hacker who owes him a favor. Can you unlock Earth Central? I need access to something buried deep. The hacker responds, one attempt. If I get caught, we both disappear. Jaren agrees. The screen goes dark for a moment. Then something opens. An audio file. Voices from Earth Council. Subject: Eden was meant to unite species, but the child's power is unpredictable. Too much empathy can be dangerous. Terminate the project. Erase the records. Keep it quiet. Jaren listens. His hands shake. So this was never about safety. It was about control. Sarah watches his face. She knows what he heard. Lyra comes close. She holds a flower she picked from the cave wall. It glows softly, a rare Martian bloom. She smiles and says, even here something beautiful can grow. Suddenly, Jaren's screen flashes red. New alert. Central Command has issued a capture order. Not just deport, live or dead. Jaren stares at the. He feels a fire rise in his chest. This is no longer a mission. This is personal. We move now, he says. We go to the relay tower in the high cliffs. If I can send this file to the outer colonies, maybe someone will listen. Maybe someone will help. Sira nods. She carries Lyra on her back. They climb under the stars. The Martian wind howls like a warning, but they do not stop behind them. The drone sends their location to a Black Ops team, elite soldiers in silent suits, already boarding a ship far above. One listening post receives Jaren's secret message. A technician opens the file, reads the word Eden. His eyes go wide. He stands. He turns to his captain. Sir, you need to see this asterisk. The Martian wind blows cold across the high cliffs. Jaren leads the way while Sira and Lyra follow close behind. Each step is harder than the last. Their feet sink into red dust. Their lungs breathe thin air, but none of them stop. They reach a small cave just below the peak. Jaren sets down the scanner. He checks the signal. The tower is near. One more climb, and they can send the truth. One more risk, and maybe the world will listen. Inside the cave, Lyra sits on a flat rock. She holds her knees close. She whispers without fear. They are coming. I can feel them. Do not want to understand. They only want silence. Jaren turns to Sira. You never told me everything. What really happened back then? Why did you stay? Why did you run? Sira looks out at the cliffs. Her voice soft like the wind. Because I fell in love. Jaren watches her face. No surprise. Only silence. She begins to speak. Years ago, I came to Earth as part of a peace mission. We were scientists, healers, explorers. We offered help during your war. We gave knowledge and care. And then I met him. He was not a soldier. He was not cruel. He was kind. He saw me not as alien, but as equal. We worked together in Project Eden. He believed we could build a better world then. Lyra was born. She was the first, the only. Her body from me, her mind from him, but her heart was something new. She could feel what others could not. She could sense pain before it happened. She could quiet fear just by being near. At first they called her Hope, a bridge between two species, a light in the dark, but then fear grew. People in power became afraid. What if she could see through lies? What if she could not be controlled? What if her peace made their war useless? They shut the project down, told us to disappear. My partner refused. He wanted to speak, to tell the truth. He died one night in an accident. That was no accident. I ran. I took Lyra and vanished into space. Jaren listens. He says nothing. He looks at Lyra again. Now he understands. She is not a threat. She is the proof. Proof that peace is possible. Proof that truth cannot be buried forever. Scanner flashes red light. They are near. Jaren opens a hidden panel. Inside is a power cell. He connects it to his wristband. The signal booster lights up. This is it. He says, once I send this, they will come harder, but the lie will break someone out. There will see. Sarah places her hand on his. If you do this, they will come for you. To Jaren nods. Then let them. He sends the file. All of it. Project Eden. The test reports. The shutdown order. The voices of the council. The death of the scientist. The voice of Lyra saying, please don't take my mommy across space. The message travels. It reaches a hidden station on Titan. A rebel leader listens to the audio. He closes his eyes and whispers, they kept this from us. They lied back on Mars. The wind changes. Jaren feels it. So does Lyra. She stands, her eyes glowing faintly. They are close. She says very close. Jaren looks at his weapon, then at her. Can you stop them again? Lyra shakes her head. Not this time. There are too many, and they are afraid. Afraid cannot be calmed by one girl. Sarah holds her close. Then we run again. No, Jaren says we do not run. Not this time. He walks out, stands on the ledge. Below him a black ship lands in the dust. Soldiers in shadow armor step out, weapons ready, eyes cold. Jaren holds up his hands. No weapon, no threat. One soldier steps forward. You sent the file. You betrayed command. Jaren speaks loud. No, I told the truth. The soldier lifts his gun. Orders are orders before the trigger is pulled. A voice comes to the soldiers. Come, abort mission. New orders from Earth Council. Stand down. Confusion, silence. The soldier freezes. Jaren hears it too. The voice from the council. We received the broadcast. It reached more than we expected. This is no longer a secret back in the cave. Lyra looks at her mother. She smiles softly. People listened. For the first time in years, Sarah feels the weight lift from her chest outside. Jaren walks down to the soldiers. You have a choice. Follow lies or follow truth. The leader lowers his weapon. He steps aside. Jaren turns to the cave. It is over for now. The air grows heavier as the sun begins to fade behind the Martian cliffs. Jaren walks fast with Sarah and Lyra behind him. The message was sent. The secret was revealed. But truth never comes without enemies. Inside his wristband a second signal appears. Encrypted and silent. It carries no name, just two words. They know he does not stop. He knows what it means. The council may have stood down, but others will not. Black units move without orders, without mercy, without reason. They walk through dry valleys, past rocks shaped by old storms. Lyra stays quiet, but her eyes move fast. She feels something again, not near but closing in. They stop at a canyon edge, too steep to climb down, too long to walk around. Sarah turns. What now? Jaren kneels beside the canyon wall. He opens a panel hidden in the rock. Dust falls from the edges. Inside is a small silver switch, an old mining lift, forgotten, rusty, but alive. He powers it on. The ground shakes softly. A metal platform rises with creaks and sparks. They step on. No safety rail. No time to think. The platform lowers into the dark, wind whistling around them. Lyra holds tight to her mother. She does not speak, but her eyes say everything. Jaren looks at her. He knows she is afraid. He knows she feels more than he ever could. They reach the bottom. A dark tunnel stretches ahead, long and cold and full of echoes. They walk quickly. Their shadows stretch on the walls. Jaren checks his scanner. Nothing yet. No signals, no sounds. Then a soft vibration in the ground. A pulse, a warning behind them. A drone drops into the shaft. No light, no engine. Just silence. It scans the floor, sees the footprints, follows without error. Jaren sees the signal flash red. They found us. He grabs Sarah's hand. Run. They race through the tunnel. Each step louder than the last. Dust flies, echoes bounce. Lyra trips once, but Jaren catches her without a word. Ahead the tunnel splits. Two paths, one dark and narrow, one wide and straight. Jaren makes a choice. Left, always left. They take the narrow path. Climb over broken pipes, slip past fallen beams. The drone stops at the split. It scans both paths, then it sends a signal high above. A black transport hovers. A figure inside watches the feed target. Heading south, tunnel 4. Permission to intercept. Voice responds without delay. Engage and recover the girl, lethal if needed inside the tunnel. Jaren slows. He knows they will not stop. He knows they will come with more. He looks at Sierra. We need another way, she nods. There is a vent system ahead, old, but still open. It leads to the canyon floor. They find the vent, break the old grate, push Lyra through first. Then Sierra, then Jaren. It is tight. Hot breathing becomes hard, but they keep moving. Above, the drone reaches the tunnel, sees nothing but waits. It senses heat nearby. Inside the vent, Lyra whispers. They are near. They feel angry like fire. Jaren moves faster. The metal shakes, a loud sound behind. The drone is breaking through. He kicks the sidewall. It cracks, breaks. Sunlight spills in one by one. They fall out into the canyon floor. Dust flies around them. Aran pulls Lyra close. No time to rest. We move again. He checks the map. Old service path nearby leads to the signal tower. The last hope. They start walking, not fast, not slow, just steady. Behind them, a new drone enters the sky. This one is bigger, smarter. It flies high, tracks every heat wave, every movement. It finds them again. Jaren hears it before he sees it. A hum in the air, a shimmer of shadow. He turns, raises his weapon, shoots once, hits. Nothing. The drone dodges, fires a pulse. Jaren falls back. Sierra drags him. Lyra screams, but not from fear. Her voice echoes with strange power. A wave of sound, not loud but deep. The drone shakes, wobbles in the air, loses control, crashes into the rock silence. Returns. Jaren stands slowly, looks at Lyra. Was that he? Asks Sierra, touches her daughter's face. She is becoming what they feared, but also what they hope. Jaren nods. Then let us show them. Let us show the world what hope looks like. They reach the path, climb fast, each step bringing them closer to danger, closer to truth, closer to the moment everything will change. Asterisk. The sun fades behind the Martian cliffs, leaving the sky painted in cold orange and shadow. Jaren leads them toward the signal tower, a tall black shape rising like a broken finger in the dust. Every step feels heavier than the last, but they do not stop. Sierra walks with quiet strength, holding Lyra's hand. The girl looks tired, but her eyes stay focused. She feels the pull of something waiting above, something watching. Jaren checks his scanner. One last signal burst can reach the outer colonies from the top. If they can send a final message, the truth will no longer be silence. The world will know. The council will break. The war built on lies will begin to crack. But they are not alone. Far above, a ship moves through thin clouds. Black metal, no lights, no warning. It hovers without sound and releases 3 dark figures. They fall like shadows touching ground without echo. They are the final unit built to end things. No voice, no name, only one mission. Recover the child, neutralize all others. Jaren hears the crunch of rock behind them. He turns fast, sees nothing, but feels everything. They climb the outer stairs of the tower. Old metal groans beneath their weight. The wind grows stronger. Dust bites their faces. The air becomes thinner. Jaren stops halfway. Looks at Lyra. Are you strong enough to finish this? She nods. I feel them. They are angry, but also afraid. Sierra looks up. Then we go. We finish what they tried to erase. At the top of the tower is a control panel, old and rusted, but not dead. Jaren connects his wristband. A blue light flashes, signal ready. Then a noise behind them, a click like metal teeth. Jaren turns and sees the first figure, black suit. No face, no words, only the gun in its hand. Before Jaren moves, it fires. A blast of white light hits the ground. Dust explodes. Sierra pulls Lyra behind a wall. Jaren rolls and fires back. His shot hits the figure's shoulder, but it does not fall. It does not bleed. More footsteps. 2 more shadows enter the rooftop. Lyra covers her ears. Her eyes fill with light. She feels their thoughts. They are not machines. They are people, broken, trained to forget who they were. Steps forward. Her mother shouts no, but Lyra's voice rises. You are afraid. You were told to follow, but deep inside, you know this is wrong. One of the shadows hesitates. His hand shakes. A memory breaks through. A child, a voice, a moment he buried. The leader sees it, turns his weapon on him, shoots. The man falls. His helmet cracks. His face shows peace for the first time. Jaren fires again. Hits the second soldier in the chest. But he keeps moving. Sierra grabs a pipe and swings it hard. The sound of metal hitting metal echoes across the tower. Jaren shouts to Lyra, "Now send it now." She runs to the panel. Her hand shakes, but she places it on the pad. Her touch is strange, not human, not alien, but both. The system reads her, accepts her. The signal launches. A blue pulse fires into the sky. It carries names, images, voices, truth across space. Ships pick up the signal. Stations pause, screens light up. Children listen, soldiers stop. The world begins to remember. Back on the tower, the last figure charges forward. He grabs Lyra, lifts her from the ground. Sierra screams. Jaren fires, but the shot misses. Then Lyra looks into the soldier's eyes. She does not cry. She does not shout. She whispers, "You are not him." The soldier stops. His grip loosens. He falls to his knees. His helmet drops. His eyes are wet. Jaren pulls Lyra away. They stand together at the edge of the tower. Dust swirling, wind rising. The mission is complete. The message is free below. More ships arrive, but not to fight, to listen. One speaker opens across the sky. "We heard your truth. We saw your courage. You are not alone anymore." Jaren lowers his weapon. Sierra kneels beside Lyra. The girl breathes deep. Her heart beats strong. The war they feared never came. Only questions, only change, only the start of something new. The signal moves through stars like a wave of fire. It breaks firewalls. It crosses systems. It reaches places that forgot how to care across. Moon bases and hidden colonies. Screens flicker to life. Old files open. Voices once erased. Speak again. Project Eden, the child called Lyra. The peace that was buried, now shown to everyone inside. The Martian tower. Jaren stands at the edge, looking down at the horizon. He watches lights move through the sky. Not warships, not drones, but signals from people, from places he thought would never answer. He turns to Sierra. She holds Lyra close. The girl is breathing slow, her energy fading, not from fear, but from release. She carried too much. Now it is shared. Sierra touches her daughter's face. "You did it. You gave them the truth." Lyra opens her eyes, soft and calm. "I only showed them what they forgot." In the command centers of Earth leaders, watch the data unfold. Their lies crumbling, their control slipping. One general slams a console. "Who gave access? How did this get out?" Another answers, "It was not hacked. It was recognized. Her DNA unlocked the vault. She is the key." The council falls into silence. Some begin to argue. Some begin to panic. One old woman among them speaks above the noise. "Maybe it is time we listen." On Titan, on Europa, on the floating cities of Venus, people see the broadcasts. They see a girl not with power, but with heart. They hear her voice. "Please don't take my mommy." They see the pain in her eyes. They see the man who stood beside her when all others turned away, and slowly they begin to feel not anger, not fear, but something older. Something forgotten. Empathery receives a message on his wristband. A direct link from Earth Council. They want to speak. They want a meeting. Sierra hears the beeping. She does not move. Jaren looks at her. "What do you want me to say?" Sierra closes her eyes. "Tell them we are not going back. Tell them we will not hide. Tell them if they want to know her, they must meet her as equals, not as masters." Jaren nods. He sends the reply. The council sees it. No demands, no threats, only truth. "We are alive. We are not afraid." The message spreads beyond systems. It reaches rebel groups, silent citizens, even soldiers once loyal to orders. Many put down weapons. Some cry. Some remember who they were before they became machines. In a classroom on the moon, children watch the video of Lyra standing beside the broken drone. They ask, "Who is she?" Teacher answers, "She is the child who made the world listen again." In space stations orbiting Neptune, artists paint her image across metal walls. A girl with glowing eyes and soft hands, a symbol not of war, but of memory. Back on Mars, the wind grows quiet. The tower no longer flickers. Its work is done. Jaren sits beside Lyra. He opens a small box. Inside is a medal from his early service. He looks at it for a moment, then hands it to her. You earned this more than I ever did, Lyra smiles. She does not take it. She looks at him. You remembered what they forgot. That is your medal. The sky begins to shift. Ships arrive, not black, not armed, but open. Ambassadors, witnesses, listeners. They do not come with orders. They come with questions. A new council begins to form, not from power, but from voices, human, alien, hybrid. For the first time, a seat is saved. For a child, for the first time, the law will not be based on fear. For the first time, someone like Lyra will not be hunted. She stands with Sira and Jaren at the top of the tower, looking at the new world they helped awaken. No speeches, no flags, just a quiet moment under the Martian sky. Jaren places his hand on her shoulder. What now? Lyra answers. We teach them to feel again. Wind rises again. But it feels different, not cold, not sharp. It feels like a beginning, and somewhere far beyond the stars. Another child watches the signal. Another voice whispers, maybe I can speak too.